Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our May 14th school board meeting. Hello? Hate doing that. There we go. Sorry. Good evening, and welcome to our May 14th school board meeting. If y'all would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Dr. Hammock.
Yes, absolutely. Head on over in this direction.
Yes. Yes.
Sweet before me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Hammock, and I'm the superintendent of Beech Grove City Schools. And tonight we have a very special presentation to make. I'd like to invite Susan Schmall, a teacher at Hornet Park, up, please. Be great. Yeah, we're just starting off, with a bang. So we're just absolutely thrilled. Friends, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about an award that's going to be given to our dear friend, Mrs. Schmall. This is the Bear Factor Award. So I've written my remarks down to make sure that I don't forget anything, and some really wonderful things were said about you, Susan. So congratulations. Today, we're gathering to celebrate an individual whose unwavering dedication and boundless positivity have illuminated our school community like a beacon of light. It is with great honor and admiration that we present the Bear Factor Award to none other than our Susan Schmall. The Bear Factor Award was created just last year to celebrate the legacy of impact that Dr. Steve Bear made on the Beech Grove City Schools community. The award reads, celebrating Beech Grove team members who advance a culture of positivity within and across the school community of Beech Grove. Susan Schmall embodies the very essence of what it means to be a positive force within our school family. Her infectious enthusiasm, genuine kindness, and tireless efforts have touched the lives of countless students, colleagues, and families. The individual who nominated Mrs. Schmall stated these things. I think you can figure out who it is once I say them. Susan has spent her entire career contributing to, protecting, and spreading a culture of positivity across our school and community. It is rooted in her own personality, as Susan is just positive by nature. She frames situations in the positive perspective, is solution-centered, and models that for others. Susan spreads positivity into her classroom, students, and their families by building relationships and rapport that foster and feed positivity. Students in Susan's classroom environment learn to live and learn in a harmonious environment that is based on love and positivity. The ripple continues as Susan's positivity radiates beyond her classroom, and extends to our entire school, as Susan is a leader. Her personality and her tone are anchors to the Hornet Park school culture. She's a key influencer and a key player in the culture and climate of our school, which she has helped to shape into a very positive space. Her scope extends beyond Hornet Park and throughout the district and Beech Grove community. In the years she has served our district, the number of families and the generations she has impacted have contributed to the greater good of our beloved community. Beech Grove has such pride in our school system, and that starts in individuals like Susan Schmall, who make a difference. Susan Schmall has the special something, the Bear Factor, and is so deserving of this honor. So tonight, we will present Susan with the Bear Factor Award. Let us take a moment to express our deepest gratitude for her exceptional contributions to our school community. May her dedication, passion, and boundless positivity continue to inspire us all to strive for excellence and spread kindness wherever we go. Would you all please join me in congratulating Susan Schmall, a true champion of positivity in Beech Grove City Schools. Mrs. Schmall, thank you for making Beech Grove City Schools a place where we love to learn. Absolutely. Mrs. Schmall happens to be retiring at the end of this year as well, which we just can't swallow. So we get to celebrate you tomorrow too, right?
Yes.
Yay,
Yes.
very good. Mrs. Schmall, everyone. So great. Thank you.
Janice?
Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Hammock is being inducted into
Oh, my
the
goodness.
Indiana Association of Public School Principals. This is a huge honor for her and gives her an opportunity to showcase her integrity, her knowledge, her grace, but it also gives us an opportunity to show off our school and our city. Rob, with that, we have something for you.
Oh my goodness. This is a surprise, by the way. I'm not very good at those
No, it's no
things.
secret. We sought you out
Aw.
when we wanted a leader at our place. And you being recognized and moving us that much further, the board wanted to get together and present you a check for $500 towards your financial goal.
Oh my gosh.
Gina?
Thank you.
Gina?
Yeah, I actually took our check to Seth last week. I'm gonna get in trouble for knowing
You
all these
guys,
secrets.
this is
The association wanted to recognize everything you have done for our teachers here in the district. So on behalf of our members, we donated $1,000 to your installation as well.
extraordinary. You guys.
And now, Mitzi?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, you guys. That's ridiculous. Thank you. So.
The only thing that could possibly follow that, because as we know that we have the best superintendent in the state, and she's going to be the president of the superintendents of the state, the only thing, what did I say?
It should be the queen.
I call her the queen. I didn't know I could say that publicly, but okay, she's the queen. The only thing that can follow that is our Students of the Month, because I am here to say that this doesn't happen in every board meeting, that we get to honor the reason that she does this, the reason that they serve on a board, the reason that we're here is for the Students of the Month. So what we do, if you haven't been here before, each principal will come and honor your child, your student, and then what we like to do, and it feels a little crazy, but it's okay. When that student is recognized, the principal and that student will stand and get their lovely photo in front of the Hornet. And then we'll take a pause after all the students are announced, where you can take photos with your child, with your grandchild, with if you have any other relatives here. And we'll take a little break, and at that point, you can leave, take photos, or you can stay for the rest of the board meeting. I know what most people do, but you are welcome. So with that being said, who's first today? Ooh, Erin Provis, here we go.
Oh, you guys, I'm an ooey gooey mess. It's been such a sentimental night. We had a retirement celebration for Susan over at home at Hornet Park, and then we get to celebrate her here, and then to share in that celebration with your installation. And now our favorite part, our Students of the Month. So I would love to introduce Lucas Black. Come on down. All right, Lucas has a lot of staff members, a lot of teachers that wanted to brag about him this evening. Mrs. Taylor shared that Lucas is such a good friend to others at recess. He's always polite and respectful and willing to help. Mrs. Corbin said Lucas is such a sweet young man. He's a very hard worker, and she loves seeing him smile each day. It makes her day. Mrs. Keeley shares that she has really enjoyed getting to know Lucas over the last 2 years. There's just not enough time to spell out all of the great things about Lucas. His personality shines bright every day. She loves walking into the classroom where he always greets her with a hug and looks genuinely excited to see her. He's very kind, and he just has the biggest heart, and he's always looking out for the feelings of others. He cares deeply for his family and for his friends, classmates, and he shows empathy better than many adults. He is respectful, hardworking, and can be counted on to do the right thing. She will miss you next year, but she knows you will be very successful as you move along. Mrs. Doran says that he is thoughtful and creative, and he's always the first to help if someone spills their art box or needs help cleaning up around the room. He's a great friend. And for Mrs. Reed, who came tonight to see you also. Lucas is a delightful little hornet. He is friendly and kind to his classmates. He works hard in class to learn how to read and write and do math. Lucas shows the hornet way every day by being respectful and responsible. He is a joy to have at our school, and we sure are going to miss his sweet smile next year when he moves on to second grade. Hornet Park is pleased to present our Student of the Month, Lucas Black. Fancy, huh? Yeah, and hold on, look, you get this too. Oh, yeah, you get this too. Look at you. You're welcome. Good job, Lucas.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Cotter, and I am the principal at Central Elementary School for 7 more days, right? Until we move to South Grove. I would love to welcome Janila McDellop. Janila is so excited to be here tonight. Oh, I can't wait to celebrate her. Janila is a second grader at Central, and she was nominated by her teacher, Mrs. Mercado. Mrs. Mercado said, Janila is so deserving of this award. She has worked very hard this school year in her academics and in respect and responsibility. She is always willing to lend a helping hand for her classmates and teachers. I love having her in class and can't wait to see her successes in the future. I'm so proud of her. Keep up the good work. Miss Ross says, oh, what can I say about Janila? I love your little giggle. I had the pleasure of working with Janila last year. Janila has one of the purest hearts I've ever seen. Janila is curious, creative, kind, and most important, her true self, and isn't afraid to show it. Janila always has the funniest stories, jokes, and gives the sweetest compliments if you need someone to brighten your day. She is a true hornet who has represented Central Elementary. Miss Ali said, Janila has a great sense of humor and adores the Central staff. She works very hard in the speech room and should be so proud of all the progress she has made this past year. She is a good friend to others and always stays positive. Congratulations, Janila. Mrs. Doty, who's here tonight. Do you see her? Say hi, Mrs. Doty. There you go. Said Janila's fun spirit makes it a pleasure to work with her. She is respectful and kind to both students and teachers. Her love of learning makes any lesson more enjoyable. Janila's smile, jokes, songs, and stories brighten my day each and every day. I need to hear these jokes. You've never told me a joke. We're going to get that tomorrow, yeah? Okay. Congratulations, Janila. We're all super duper proud of you, and we look forward to celebrating your continued success at South Grove next year, yeah? Please give Janila a round of applause. You're welcome. We'll go take a picture. Sound good? Okay.
Good evening. I'm Gina Fleming, proud to serve as the South Grove Intermediate Principal. And Mr. Carr, the individual I'm introducing tonight, is one that is going to be an incredible leader at Central Intermediate next year. I'd like to introduce to all of you the South Grove Student of the Month, 5th grader, Steve Castillo. All right, let me tell you some wonderful things about Steve. Steve is one of the most kind-hearted students around. He is always respectful and follows all expectations and procedures in physical education and everywhere else. He is a great kid to have in class. That's from Coach Harlan. Mr. Duffy adds, what a much-deserved award this is. Steve really does go above and beyond in all he does at South Grove. He's always willing to volunteer and help distribute class items. His peers want to be around him because he has such an inviting personality. Academically, he is wonderful and is a pleasure to have in class. I'm excited about what the future holds for Steve. Ms. Leja and Ms. Strickland, his classroom teachers, state, Steve is someone that just brightens everyone's day, and you can see why. He is cheerful, funny, and good-spirited. He always puts a smile on our faces with a silly joke or by being helpful in the classroom. He tries really hard to do his personal best, even when something is challenging. We are both so proud of the work he has done this year and the improvements he has made. Steve Castillo, congratulations. Congratulations, buddy. Here you go. And this.
Good evening, everyone. Ryan Morgan, proudly serve as the middle school principal, and I get the honor of recognizing 2 students of the month this month. So our first one is 7th grader Nadia Walls. Nadia is a phenomenal student who consistently exceeds expectations. She raises the bar for those around her by giving the best in her work and leading by example. Nadia is upbeat, curious, creative, and engaged, all traits that will make her a lifelong learner. In addition, Nadia has built strong friendships with her peers that make our classroom a place for everyone to learn and thrive. Outside the classroom, Nadia gives of her time to help others by volunteering at multilingual family nights or by sharing her talent in the drama club. Nadia exemplifies what it means to be a true Hornet. Nadia, thank you for making Beech Grove Middle School a better place.
We'll take a quick little wait event.
Yeah, perfect. All right, our next student of the month, Aaron Love, 8th grader. We do all things in Beech Grove with love. All right, so Aaron was recognized by our math and science department. It says, Aaron has been one of our top students all year. She has consistently persevered through challenging moments in class and with resolve and a willingness to better herself through these moments. Erin has great focus about her and never becomes distracted. Teachers can always count on her to ask challenging questions while turning in only the highest quality of work. Erin has been a pleasure to have in class, and we look forward to following her success into high school and beyond. Erin, thank you for your efforts and willingness to be the difference at Beech Grove Middle School. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Carr. I'm the principal of the high school. Unfortunately, our student of the month will not be here this evening. He is currently on the mound out back pitching. I've been in 8-0 now. I'm in tense negotiations with our athletic director, but we are. So our student of the month is Garen Boshears, and if you haven't had a chance to meet Garen, I'm sad you didn't get the chance this evening, but he is a fantastic young man. He is one of 3 brothers of the school that we refer to as the Boshear boys at the high school, who are just a wonderful, wonderful family and group of boys. Garen is a 9th grader who he is enrolled in about every high-level course that we offer while maintaining nearly straight A's. He's a wonderful young man, and he is obviously our student of the month. More recently, Garen was on the mound and threw a perfect game, which is a little bit crazy to think about because he's a 9th grader and who threw a perfect game at the varsity level. 16 strikeouts. that he was already our student of the month, and then that happened. So that really, he was selected as our student of the month just based on how he carries himself throughout the high school, his work ethic, how he responds to his peers and his teachers, and just all-around great kid. And I told him that I was going to say all these great things about him, and I'll tell him again tomorrow when I see him. But it's no shock to hear he's back on the mound, and we have an 8-0 lead. So I am very, very optimistic that at some point you all will see him again. So our student of the month is Garen Boshiers.
Good evening. I'm Garrett Daniel, High School Athletic Director. I think I missed last month's meeting, so apologize about that. Just been really busy with a lot going on. Spring's been springing. Right now my socks and shoes are soaking wet. So just luckily though we are playing baseball outside because of our beautiful turf field. I can say that that's not happening in a lot of places. So I'll start off by recognizing our first Alfred Insurance Athlete of the Month. She could not make it tonight. She was actually on a bus headed to Warren Central for the sectional track meet, which then I think about 10 to 15 minutes into the trip, we had to call them, tell them to come back because it's been canceled. Been rescheduled for tomorrow night because all the rain that they got over there. But it was Harper Moore. So she was nominated and selected because she's currently hitting almost 600 batting average for a freshman. She makes game-changing plays with her arm, throwing runners out at home. She's a competitor and plays with a high-level IQ in all situations. Alongside softball practices and games, she's also competing in track practices and events while maintaining academics in good standing. This would be Harper's third time, if you're counting, for getting getting Athlete of the Month. So once in soccer, once in basketball, now in softball and track as well. So she's a phenomenal student athlete, really good student in the building, always has a smile on her face, and she's an extreme competitor. So Harper Moore. Next up, I would like to invite Coach Knott and Randy Underwood. So I'll say a few brief things, read off her plaque. Randy's a great student here at the school. She's an office helper, actually. She helps out athletics a lot, stocking concessions, running passes for the office. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, a lot of stuff there. A lot of behind-the-scenes work that she helps out with. I've known her for several years. She's a great kid. Once again, she's a unique personality for sure. But always enjoy, kind of her jokes and comments, and just going to miss her. She is a senior graduating. Coach Knott, he's been with us for 3 years now. He's done a really good job with the tennis program. He's both the boys and girls tennis coach. Girls program has really grown immensely under his leadership. I'd say, probably numbers-wise, his first year around 10 maybe. I think we're probably close to 20-something plus now for tennis, which is great. Randy, she was nominated and selected. She's our #1 singles in the toughest position in tennis against every school's best tennis player. Nevertheless, she goes out and competes with only 2 losses and 5 wins this past month against big schools like Lawrence Central and a really good conference player in Cecina. So I'll let Coach Knott say a few words about Randy as well.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you to Randy for being our April Athlete of the Month. This is my 3rd year, like he said, coaching. Randy, I've known her for 3 years. I've known what her voice sounds like for 2 years. I never heard her speak the first year. I knew her when she was a shy young little sophomore. But last year she grew a little bit, and this year she's really grown out of her shell a lot. Like you said, she's in the office all the time helping. She's helping me in my classroom. I have her for the 2nd time in the classroom. And as Steph knows, because her son played tennis, we're not necessarily a tennis school, but what I try to do is have really good kids that play tennis. And like Mr. Daniels said, I had 12 my first year in girls, and then 18 last year, and then 24 this year. So doubled in 2 years. And Randy's been there since the beginning. She's been a varsity player since then. And I don't really care about stats. I just care about having good kids. And I do like winning. But Randy's a good player, and it's not easy playing #1. It's really hard because you play a lot of not necessarily the nicest people. It's a very competitive sport. But Randy, not a big talker, so she doesn't give it back. She's a very, very good kid, and she helps out a ton. So Thank you, Randy. And we play tomorrow, so good luck tomorrow, Randy, in sectionals.
Do a quick picture over here for a minute.
So if any of you now would like to get a photo with family, with principal, with coaches, we've got the lovely backdrop, the Hornet. We will take about a 4 or 5 minute break here, and you may do that. If you need to leave, feel free. Thanks.
go ahead and get started again. Dr. Hammock.
Alrighty, friends. So tonight we are having our official hearing on our lease amendment. Just a couple of legal requirements that I need to read for you all before we ask for your action. So first off, it's important for us to make you all aware that the notice of this meeting has been published in the Indianapolis Star and in the Indianapolis Business Journal. That was on April the 12th, 2024. The proofs of publication were presented to the meeting and upon examination were found to be in due form of law. Therefore, those notices and proofs are approved and were ordered filed. So just want to make you all aware that everything has been done as far as the requirements for public posting. And then second, the hearing on the lease amendment does require that we do open the meeting to public comment specifically regarding this hearing on the lease amendment. We will have public comment for other matters later on our agenda, but specific to the lease amendment. So, Mr. President, would you want to ask for any input on the
Do we
lease
have a
amendment?
public comment on the amendment?
I'm guessing not.
All right. Then can I get a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing an execution of lease amendment?
I move that we adopt the resolution.
April, second. Beth, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'll go through all these, right?
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to need a motion to adopt the resolution assigning construction bids and contracts to the building corporation. Janice? And Tara? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And now I need a motion to adopt the resolution approving insurance of bonds and supplement to continued disclosure undertaking.
I'll move we adopt the resolution approving issuance of bonds.
April? Second? Oh, wait a minute, I don't need one there.
We do. Sorry that was.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was just
I do.
miss.
I need a second.
Mhm.
Beth? I'll write that in on mine. And now I need a motion to adjourn the hearing on the lease agreement.
We might want to vote on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry
you know
about
what?
that,
Let's do
Rob, but
that.
that's
That'd
our
be fun.
fault, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now I need a motion to adjourn on the hearing lease amendment.
I'll make that motion.
Brian? Second? Janice? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Steph, we didn't have anybody sign up for public comment, right? We did not. All right. On to Mitzi and Community Relations.
All right. Just a few things to update. The biggest one was the Community Day being over.
Wonderful. No, it was a wonderful
Thanks.
event.
It was, here's the fun thing. Yesterday when we left, no, I think I was out, was going from a school to another school, and I saw just a young man, probably, I don't know how old, anyway, it wasn't a student, but walking the street with the shirt, love where you learn. Like, and I just loved it. Like, it was like, I wanted to take a picture on Main Street. There was the thing, there was a billboard, it was gorgeous. So I think that was one of my favorite things about it, that we were able to get sponsorship to give out 675 shirts. I think we have maybe 75 left. So there are 600 shirts out there to those people, and I think that was really neat.
So great.
We think about 250 people went through. This was, next year I would like to do something where we maybe have a little bit better idea. We had more people RSVP though, and I think that happens. Despite, I kept everybody's email in the beginning, and I would send out a couple reminders. But I thought it was great. People seemed happy. It was a nice day. The amount of support from all the schools was just incredible. It could not have been done without literally every school chipped in to help. And they did so with a smile, and it went really well. So I just want to thank everybody for chipping in, because, I mean, I had a crazy idea and people listened to me. So it's not always advised, but it was great. And a lot of different things. The feedback, I did ask for feedback. The feedback I got was maybe a later time. The difficulty with a later time, as we know, is the importance of getting help.
Yeah.
And I barely got any help from 5:15 to 6. But that was just a couple people said that, and then maybe announcing the activities. I did that on purpose because we did have 2 different groups unable to attend like that day. And I thought if someone is coming just for X or just for Y, but as the months go, if you guys think of things as, you know, I really want to keep doing this, I think it was nice to have it in the spring. It's not going to make everybody happy, but it was free. And hopefully, just the kindest people. Just, I think that's what I left, with just the nicest humans at that. So it was really nice. Teacher of the Year, we've had our 6 finalists. We published that. We'll make an announcement next week on that. And I did want to give a shout out to Caroline Beck, Indy Star. She's been so supportive and had a couple really great articles coming out with Beech Grove featured in that. So we really do appreciate that. You would be surprised how many times I reach out, and I get nothing. So I just wanted to publicly thank her. So
Mitzi, do you want to tell the board who served on the Teacher of the Year interview committee?
Absolutely.
It was a really nice group.
It was a very nice group. We had, Janice was there, as Janice was there last year in our inaugural Teacher of the Year, so she might get stuck on that. Thank you, Janice.
Thanks, Janice.
We had a couple, we had Mayor Kaufman was there, and he was just moved by the whole process as well, which was wonderful, said some wonderful things. We got great representation from our teachers. We had, for Gina's great idea, we had our last year's 2 winners, Janae Sutton and Brooke Hamlet. And they were on there, as well as Mr. Brian Garman, Dr. Hammock, and then I just organized and sat there and kind of ran that. But what I found so compelling, it was the teachers that were on that committee had such insight and they just really, really thought it through, and that kind of struck me more than anything. I'm like, wow, they had some really great insight on that, so. We can't tell you.
So we'll be making some special announcements
Yeah.
next week. Yeah.
We cannot tell you, so we cannot tell anyone.
We're so excited, Brian. Don't laugh at us.
Every time she does that, I don't know how she does that.
It's impressive. He can't physically move,
I have
and I
no
will say that
rhythm,
publicly.
Public meeting, Mr. Garman.
Yeah.
Public meeting.
He's complimented.
There was one really good thing
Yeah.
with that. 2 of the teachers that I remember specifically graduated from here, live
Yeah.
here, teach here, are never planning on leaving, want to raise their family here, and that is so exciting to see these young people, couples, staying in this town and making it even better. It kind of opened my heart a little bit.
And Janice, didn't we have like 4 in a row?
Yeah.
Didn't
Beech Grove grads.
Yeah, there were Beech Grove
Beech
grads.
Grove
Like, we were like,
grads.
well, here we go again.
Yeah.
And, and just the process, for those who don't know, my 22nd process of this was nominations went, then of the nominations, we needed to see who met the success criteria, because there are rules in the state. From there, the buildings were given the names. If they wanted, if there was so X many names, their choices. From there, then it came to a committee. And that's my 22nd, of it. But there are different steps to it. There isn't just names thrown out and like, we'll just interview them. Yeah. So we ended up having 6 that met that criteria.
So good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's go to a personnel update by Mr. Garman.
Before I do the personnel report, Dr. Hammock, you want to give this exciting announcement now, or do you want me to go through and?
Yeah, why don't you go through and then I'll just introduce someone that's included
Okay.
in our personnel report.
So requesting approval of the submitted personnel report from April 8th, 2024 through May 9th, 2024. I wanted to list the jobs that we have currently open. Some of these are in the process of being filled. They just didn't make it on the agenda because of the timeline. So we are making progress, and Lauren Mara has been great in leading that process as Mr. Carr is trying to transition to the intermediate school. So it's just been, they've done a great job of being on top of that, and I appreciate it. Because we did have several openings at the high school. I also wanted to mention that We Before Me Enterprises, we did order that final piece of equipment, and that is super exciting. I can't wait to see that up and running next year. I need to let you talk about this sometime, Mr. Morgan, but it's just so exciting. And we did, it's not on this agenda because we just got the final donation from Indiana Members Credit Union today of another $5,000 that we'll have on next board meeting that they donated toward We Before Me. So Mr. Morgan's leadership on that has been amazing. And so it's a 8-color silk screen machine that is going to be amazing for the kids. I can't wait to see them run it. We did convene a pool safety committee. Mr. Gearhart was part of that, Mr. Carr, teachers. It's the tragedy that happened at Whiteland was so sad, and We wanted to kind of debrief about that and look at our policies and review where we were currently, and I think we improved our processes and our policies, and everybody kind of worked on that. So we'll be working on kind of an operational handbook this summer that Garrett's going to help me with, and Michael Shanahan, so that we can actually have something in people's hands that I think sort of operationalizes a lot of the policies and procedures and things that we think are in the best interest of student safety for the pool. Food service, letters did go out for the outstanding debt that we talked about at the last board meeting. We have received a couple letters. Remember, a reminder that went out. That was part of our federal audit, that we had to make an attempt to collect that money. It was about $25,000. And this was all when we went CEP. So now that we're CEP, we will never have that issue again. But we are getting a few of those checks in, so hopefully we'll get many more. But it is something we have to reconcile as part of that federal audit.
Can you tell us how many letters you sent out, Mike?
Oh, Julie, how many?
It was probably close to
Julie helped me with the mail merge, so.
400? Holy
it
moly.
went back a couple of years,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So the beauty of CEP is that, you no longer, since everybody's free, you don't have the issue of providing a meal. If someone doesn't have money or, something like that. So then that's how some of those get, increase. And then also we have the capability now with the program that they can't even charge a la carte items any longer without money in their account. So that also helps that. So I don't foresee us ever having this problem again unless we go away from CEP, but I don't know why we would. We're getting reimbursed at about 95%. And even Chartwell said, don't change that. Like that's gold. So we have that for the next 3 years, at least, and then we can try to renew. So depending on what our demographics do.
Do you have plans to pursue those that don't respond?
So we paid the $25,000 that the auditors had. I mean, we already paid that out of the operation. So any of this money that comes in for us is just kind of like bonus. Because these letters probably should have been going out on time. We talked about it, and I don't know that we're going to pursue it after that. I think we're just going to get what we get and move forward. That's what we thought anyway.
Actually, kind of just making sure.
Yeah.
Basically, what kind of an average balance we're looking at is this?
Oh, it ranged.
You might want to go after? Or?
Gosh, it ranged anywhere from 400 to probably, well, the board's policy is $10 and above is considered an outstanding balance. So you could have gotten a letter that you owed $10, or you could have gotten one that owed $400. And I'm not sure how we got, it was before I got here, I'm not sure we got to $400. That's a lot, but we had a few. They were pretty high. I also wanted to let you know, in case you get some questions about the Indiana Sunbucks program. So that's just a program that the state is sponsoring. It gives a $125 allotment. It's on what they call EBT card. So the families will get that. If you are SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, if you're direct certified in any of those areas, you're going to get that card automatically. If you're income eligible, you can too. So I sent that information out to families that if you are not direct certified, that you can apply for this through income driven. And so they have all that information. We've gotten a few calls from people, but anybody, again, that's already SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, they're going to get this automatically.
Do they get it all at one time?
Yeah, it comes on one card. I would imagine some people are going to be getting them very soon because they started to process them in early May. But I thought if somebody asked, you might wonder what those are, because some people get them, and if they haven't read it, they might go, why am I getting this, and what is it? And then just lastly, I guess I wanted to say a little bit about Title III. My life in the world of grants has been sort of short-lived, but I have enjoyed especially the family night. So we have a family night tomorrow night for Title III, our MLL, Multilingual Learners Night. It's Beyond Spaceship Earth. It's through the Children's Museum at Central from 6 to 7:30. So I know there's a lot of things going on this time of year, but if you are out and around and want to enjoy that evening. It will be at Central, and thanks to Central, I think Stephanie's still over there, for hosting that. We appreciate it. What's it? And now I'll turn it over to Dr. Emick.
Thank you. Well, before we would ask the board to approve our employment recommendations, there is one specific employment recommendation that's listed in that report that we just wanted to highlight publicly. I'd like to, I know the board members just very briefly were able to be introduced to Mr. Trent Austin, but tonight in the employment report, we will be recommending Mr. Austin to transition to the role of principal of Beech Grove High School, and it is an honor to get to work with you, Trent, in this capacity. It feels like you're home already. Mr. Austin was able to have a little reception with the high school teachers and staff this afternoon, and he already met students, and it just really feels like you're coming home. So welcome home to Beech Grove. We are thrilled to have you. Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely my privilege. It's an honor. It's absolutely an honor. Today, having the opportunity of coming in and speaking with so many team members, receiving phone calls, receiving text messages from so many, it does feel like it feels the support, the level of support, the connection. I definitely want to say I do appreciate the interview process. That was fantastic because it was quite intense. However, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be when you're looking for a high school principal. And I will say this, that I had an opportunity of being able to meet so many people from the district. And so coming in today and having the opportunity of seeing familiar faces again, that was so valuable. And it just made me feel like I was at home. So I appreciate everyone in here for being so hospitable to the leadership team, to all the teachers, and especially to all the students. Today, being able to meet the kids and having conversations with the kids is something that it's a highlight of my career, and it's something I'll never forget. Thank you, Dr. Hammond.
So it's on you, board members. You vote them in or you vote them out.
I will make a motion. That's where Andy's going, so they don't think that he's just leaving the district.
Yes, public. We are still enamored with Andy Carr as much as we have ever been, and yes, we are absolutely thrilled. It is really hard. It's hard, right, Andy? Because Andy has given 3 extraordinary years here to Beech Grove High School, and I have loved working with you in this capacity. The relationships that you develop with students are next level, and I have learned from watching you, so just know that. So community, if you're watching, we are very excited to have Mr. Carr transition, and it's important to say, he requested this transition. This was just a transition that really felt right for Andy and his family at the time. So Andy will be our new principal of Central Intermediate School, serving our 5th and 6th graders. And we expected that we would make kind of those formal transitions happen at our June meeting, when we are asking the board to approve the administrator contracts for next year. So we didn't formally have Mr. Carr indicated on the personnel, did we? On this report? Oh, awesome. So Mr. Carr's official. All right. Sorry about that. I thought that we were waiting one more month. I'm so sorry. It's been a really busy month, friends. I swear I am a little more organized than that. I'm sorry, embarrassing. But Mr. Carr, thank you for your service here at the high school, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to make happen there at the intermediate school. So, yeah, great stuff. Thanks, Janice.
Can I get a motion to approve the employment recommendations?
I'll move we approve the employment recommendations.
Second? Janice? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, welcome, Mr. Austin.
Yay! So good.
In your defense, we were gone at that conference on Thursday. We didn't get a meeting.
You're right. Guys, we normally have a pre-board meeting where we get all of our... Yes, okay. So I was just so ahead of myself, I just forgot. All righty then. Ooh, Well, we're going to move on into the superintendent update then, right?
And that is you.
Okay, super. We have a few actions here tonight. The first is just that annually, and with many, many thanks to Mrs. Probus, who did a market study of our early childhood rates here in the region, as well as did a comprehensive analysis of our cash in and our cash out as related to the Early Childhood Center. We do have a recommendation for you tonight to approve the Hornet Park Early Childhood Center weekly rate as $175 per week. I did want to make note that if a family qualifies for CCDF and or On My Way pre-K, or if they are eligible for special education services, they attend preschool at no cost, right? So this is for any families that are outside of any one of those three buckets. So we just ask for your approval of those rates.
Can I ask a question?
Sir, yes.
What's the current rate? Do we know what that
$140.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Great question.
Same question, sorry.
Sorry,
Perfect.
yeah.
Very good.
Is that working out? Our parents are,
Yes, and I'm sorry, I started to speak out of turn, but
Thank you.
we've made personal contacts with everyone who either are current enrollees that will be returning next year or have already registered, and there has been absolutely no concern. Even comments like, well, that's still a lot better than what it could be, and, still think, so it's gone really well. Our office team is being sure to reach out to everyone individually.
And Erin, do you want to update the board on where you are with your registrations for next year?
Yeah, actually, we had, let's see, at kindergarten roundup last week, which was April 30th, that might not, stand that.
I want to see your pretty face.
As of registration, which was April 30th, we had basically all of our spots filled for next school year. Now, we did reevaluate as part of our year 2 review, our special education programming, and we are going to kind of make an adjustment to have one of our classrooms be more of the developmental preschool model we used to have, that has a little more support, a little more intense services to meet a higher level of need. So that, I share that because that allows them for our other 3 classes to have fewer students with higher levels of need, allowing us to have more students in those rooms. So we're actually going to be able to take 15 more, and those packets, I think, all are out. I don't think we have currently filled all of those 15 new spots, but I think packets have been handed out that would account for them if they all register.
from what ages?
3, 4, and then if anybody who's not 5 by August 1st wants to come to preschool. So I expect, I already have people who are maybe not in the district, but maybe have a child that's grade level that have asked to be on the wait list. So I haven't picked the date yet. Last year it was mid-June, where if we had any spots left, then we did invite families of current students who didn't reside in the district to enroll. So I know we've got families out there with their fingers crossed that there are a few spots left, but it's looking good.
Thanks, Erin.
And our teachers that have little ones that want, they get priority, no, am I saying that right?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
So we open registration for staff members before we open community. But once it's all open, and if I've got spot, I'm gonna do my best. We have several staff members though who bring in the master real quick.
Anyone else? All right, can I get a motion to approve the 24-25 Hornet Park Early Childhood Center weekly rate as $175 a week?
I'll make that motion.
Tara, second.
I'll second.
April? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next up, this is just the approval of a professional services agreement with Colleen Zillich. She is a speech-language pathologist, and this is to support the duration of a maternity leave.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Colleen Zillich.
April, second.
I'll second.
Tara? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And last but not least, we are asking tonight for you to approve our mental health services memorandum of understanding between Beech Grove Schools and Square One. And this will be a replacement for the current services that are being provided by Adult and Child. Just really important to understand that there is no cost to Beech Grove for these therapeutic services. All compensation for Square One is billed with Medicaid.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
What considerations kind of went into this? Is it additional services offered, or is there something?
Yeah, so additional services as well as, Square One is able to work with students who are outside of Medicaid, so with the ability for families to bill through private insurance, which was very appealing, because there are some situations where students are in need but don't qualify for Medicaid. So that, number one, was extremely appealing. And number two, we interviewed other districts where they are currently located. And one of the pain points has been some transiency with staffing. And you can imagine that therapeutic support with transiency is hard. And so it's been difficult for some of these positions to even been filled. So Square One, when we interviewed these other benchmark districts that are in our region, their ability to fill all positions is 100%, and their transiency rates are very low. So people who work for Square One stay with Square One, and high praise from these benchmark districts. So we went through a comprehensive process in that analysis, and we're really hoping that some of the pain points experienced by the principals will be solved with this transition.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the mental health services memorandum of understanding between BGCS and Square One LLC?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Brian and Jill? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we are off to Mr. Gearhart.
So just highlight a couple of things. We engaged with a company called Recreation Insights to provide for us a very nice playground at South Grove Elementary. Yes, South Grove Elementary. We stretched our budget a little bit, but in the end believed that, first of all, it's a really nice playground. And second of all, we could have stayed within that budget or even a little bit under, but we would be looking at adding on in a year or so. It would not have served Stephanie's needs.
But we might have saved on the moving.
Yes.
So, yes, that was my highlight number 2. When I kind of figured an estimate for moving, I did that based on Aaron's move last year, and I just divided the number and then multiplied it by the number of spaces we had for this move. And that's where that original number came from. So when we started to look at moving companies, we did 3. We did that same company that quoted Hornet Park's move, and they were late responding. We had a local company that stood us up twice on a meeting, so they're out. And then Navis Pack and Ship is also a local company that came back with that number. So we feel real good, obviously, about stretching on the playground and saving on considerably on the move. Signage is our next step. It's not going to be as expensive as we budgeted, but it's going to be more expensive than I would like, I think. But we'll deal with it. So we are scheduled. We are on the movers' calendar already. We've met with them. We're ready to go. Well, I'm ready to go. I don't know whether you are or not. So we had bus inspection early this month. Every bus passed except for 2. And those are being repaired and they'll be run back through inspection. Did receive some disappointing news just today from McAllister's. If you recall, we ordered 2 buses. Maybe, it was probably June or July of last year. We ordered a 54 passenger and we ordered a mini bus, a mini activity bus that was yellow with stop arms. Well, we got the full-size bus months ago. We received word today that Ford has canceled our order for the activity to get the smaller one. So we're starting that process over again. Kind of It's really frustrating because we really need activity buses. Then in the spring, they're out every day. So, that's it for me.
Claims, bundle these.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
ask for bundle.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from April 9th, from the regular meeting, April 23rd of the special meeting, and April 24th?
The claims for April 23rd. I'll move that we approve minutes from April 9th, the minutes from April 23rd, and the claims from April 2024.
I'll second.
April and Tara? Yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Other business. Let's go ahead and put fundraisers and donations together. Can I get a motion to approve the fundraisers as presented as well as the donations as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Janice? Beth? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Committee reports.
For C9, the high school has passed its state board of accounts audit. There's some further work to be done on the adult ed side. We had the first reading of the budget last week. They're facing some similar issues as we are here with rising costs and things like that. So the aviation program is not going to be renewed starting next year. It's one of the more expensive programs. It was not having as many students in it. So in order to save funds, that one was decided to cut. They have hired a new second welding instructor, so that is good. The building project just lingers. There is still a challenge with the sidewalks that the architect designed and that were poured not meeting the ADA standards that were assured that they would be met, and now there's a fight over, well, the concrete's been poured, you're gonna have to pay for it yourselves again, and no, this isn't our mistake. We are all familiar with, it's everybody's faults but theirs, and therefore, so, Michelle Cooper is now involved in that one, so we all know life's looking good. So other than that, things are moving along. They're preparing for summer. We did sort of adjust the schedule a little bit to sort of match up a little bit, or yeah, this calendar to match up a little bit better with all the schools. And other than that, it's just moving right along.
Any others?
Just want to remind everyone, 4 to 6 tomorrow at the high school for the retirement party.
Could I add real quick to the community report? I just wanted to give a shout out to the Beech Grove Lowe's. They made a pretty incredible donation to the middle school. Donated all cabinets to redo our kitchenette. And then gave us at cost for all appliances. So we were able to do a total renovation to that kitchen area for our staff. So as you know, we have a wonderful community here. Lowe's included in that. Brent Crouch came over, Scott came over to do electrical for us. Mr. Mann volunteered this time, so special thank you to him. Kathy Keller is not only a great baker, but also a great painter. Need someone to hire there. She's your girl. So just really thankful for all the support in that, and I think it's a wonderful space for our teachers. So.
Board members and superintendent success stories.
Wanted to mention that graduation is happening. It's extraordinary, but on Memorial Day weekend, on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, we'll be graduating about how many Hornets, Mr. Carr?
220-ish.
Nice, very good. So, board members, it's just a gift to get to be a part of that ceremony. We certainly understand if you have any conflicts, but we invite all of you to be there on the stage and witness what we work all year for, which is to see those kids walk across the stage.
What time do you want us there?
Good. gosh, 9:30, 9:45?
Yeah, I think that'd be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a board member who's happening to be handing out a diploma, 9:30 is fine.
9:30 is fine.
I did want to share just a couple of things that happened over the last month or so that I thought were great. One is kindergarten roundup. I was able to participate in that for my son, and it was amazing. So thank you, Hornet Park, and it's just a great first impression for my son and the community. Also, just everything was so welcoming. There was a lot of engagement and activities, and just it really represented us really well. So that was great. And the community day, just following that, it was amazing. I think the quote from my daughter was, "This is the best thing I've ever done." I was just like, wow, this it's great, like a carnival type of thing, So they had a really good time. My son had a great time, no complaints there, so it was really fun. And then lastly, I just want to say it was great to see Dr. Hammock give a speech to the Chamber of Commerce this last week, representing our schools, and what a great message. So I thought that was really good.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to say, give a shout out to the art show, which was fabulous. I wish I had the talent in my little finger that these kids have. I've never seen anything like it. It was fabulous. Good job to all the schools.
It takes so much work to set all that up. At least it was able to be up a little while. And just like Spring Spec is this weekend, and they go to all this work for months, and then it's one show. It is this weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah, 6:30.
Our teachers work so hard.
Next
It can
week
only
is
get better.
it's amazing. Next week is the last week of school. Like, how did that happen, you guys? It's just incredible. So, last student day is Thursday. So grateful for everyone who's taking us to the finish line.
And every teacher going, yes.
Oh, gosh. Yes. They are amazing.
Well, with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
April,
I'll second.
Janice, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:43 PM.